Hi friends, I'm Charan. I study BE in Electronics and Communication Engineering at Kumaraguru College of Technology in Coimbatore. So first of all, I want to thank Emertxe for this wonderful internship program. And in this internship, we done a project washing machine program simulation using PIC16F and using a PIC microcontroller. So let's share the internship experience with you guys. Let's get started. The key takeaway from the internship are these. We covered full embedded C in this internship, and we covered the basics of the microcontrollers like pin diagrams. What is that microcontroller? It's either an 8-bit microcontroller or 16-bit microcontroller, and we study about timers, interrupts, and other circuits as well as and memory devices also. And we use the simulation tool PIC16F for simulating the microcontroller, and we used development tool called MPLab IDE, and for compiler we use XE8 compiler for compiling the code. So let's move on to the other introduction. Develop a simulated washing machine program using a PIC16F and the PIC microcontroller to demonstrate the control logic and functionality of a typical washing machine. This project aims to stimulate the operation of a washing machine through a microcontroller-based program. Utilizing PIC16F for simulation allows for real-time testing and visualization of washing machines functions. The PIC16F877A microcontroller serves the brain of the system, executing the control algorithms and managing user interactions. There are multiple wash cycles options like gentle, heavy, and we can also adjust the water level and also set the timer settings. And it is very user-friendly interface for input and feedback, and it has a real-time simulation for validation and testing. Let's move on to the other slide. Keywords. So what are keywords in C? Keywords in C are a reserved word that have a predefined meaning and a part of the C language syntax. This keyword cannot be used as a variable name and has a total of 32 keywords. So these are the keywords in the C languages. So we also we also know some of the keywords like int, which will be storing as an integral values, and char, which will store as a character, and so on and so on. So next, data types. So what are data types in C? Data types is used for declaring the types of variables. In C programming, data types determine the type and the size of the data associated with the variables. Before storing any values in variables, first programmer should decide its type. Data as a number or integral or a real number, and which will be used as an int. And for character we use char, and for collection of string we will be using array, so and so. So there are many data types, and types of data types are primitive data type, derived data type, and user-defined data type. In primitive data type, it will be classified as char, int, float, and void. In derived data type, they will be also categorized by signed and unsigned. And in user-defined data type, there will be array, struct, union, and enum. Let's move on. Operators. In C, operators are symbols or special characters designed to perform a various operation on an operand, including variable, constant, or expression. They play a fundamental role in programming language by enabling the data manipulation and computational tasks. So there are many types of operators in C, and they are classified into three types: unary, binary, and ternary operators. In unary operator, we have an increment and decrement operator. In binary operator, we are having a collection of operators like arithmetical operator, relational operator, logical operator, bitwise operator, and assignment operator. In ternary operator, we have a ternary operator, where we can use ternary operator. We can use it for if and else statement. For that we can use ternary operator. So let's move on. Conditional statement. In C, these statements allow the program to make a decision based on the value of a variable or an expression. The most common conditional statement in C are the if statement, the else statement, and the switch statement. They are also known as decision-making statements and are used to evaluate one or more conditions and make the decision whether to execute a set of statements or not. This decision-making statement in programming language decides the direction of the flow of program execution. So why we need a condition statement? There comes a situation in real life when we need to make some decisions, and based on this decision we decide what should we do next. Similar situation arises in programming also, where we need to make some decisions, and based on this decision we will execute the next block of code. So there are some types of conditional statement like if else, and if else if, and nested if, and switch statements. So next, moving on to looping statement. So looping statement looping is a program used to repeat a block of code until the specific condition is met. A loop statement allows a programmer to execute a statement or a group of statements multiple times without any repetition. So there are types of loops, entry control loops and exit control loops. In entry control loops, the test condition is checked before entering the main body of the loop. Under the entry control loop, there are for loop and while loop. And the exit control loop. Exit control loop is the test condition is evaluated at the end of the loop body, and this loop will execute at least once, irrespective of whether the condition is true or false. And for example, the exit control example is do while. And these loop types, in for loop, the first will be initialized, the condition check, then executes the body, at the last the update is done. But in while, first initialize, then condition checks, and then executes the body, and updating can be inside the body. Do while first execute the body and the condition check is done. Okay, let's move on. Arrays. Array is a user-defined data type, as we seen in this before slide. An array is a fixed size of collection of a similar data item stored in a contiguous memory location. It can be used to store the collection of primitive data types such as int, char, float, etc. and also derived and user-defined data types such as pointers and structures, etc. The syntax of the array is data type array name, and this size given in the bracket. So you can see in the image the type is how we can be stored, how the array will be stored in a memory. In C, we have to declare the array like other variables before using it. We can declare an array by specifying its name, the type of its element, and the size of its dimension. When we declare an array, the compiler allocates the memory block of the specified size of the array name. So let's move on. Pointers. A pointer is defined as a derived data type that can store the address of the other C variables or memory locations. We can access and manipulate the data stored in the memory location using pointers. Syntax for C pointer is data type indifference operator pointer name. Pointers are one of the core component of the C programming language. A pointer can be used to store the memory address of the other variable, function, or even other pointer too. The uses of pointer allow low-level memory access and dynamic memory allocation and many other functionalities in C. And there are some types of pointers too, like void pointer, null pointer, dangling pointer, etc. Functions in C. A function in C is a set of statements that when called perform some specific task. It is the basic building block of the C program that provides a modularity and code reusability. The program statements of the function are enclosed within curly braces, having a certain meaning and performing certain operation. They are also called as the subordinates or a procedure in the other languages. Syntax for the function in C. It is divided into three aspects: function declaration, function definition, and function call. The function declaration. In a function declaration, we must provide a function name, its return type, and number, and the type of the parameters. The function declaration tells the compiler that there is a function with a given name defined somewhere else in the program. Function declaration syntax: return type, name of the function, parameter 1 to etc. So you can see in this image, return type is nothing but a data type, and the function name is sum, and the parameter type is also int, and the parameter name is here, and it should be ended with a semicolon. Function definition. The function definition consists of an actual statement which are executed when the function is called. Syntax for the function definition: return type, function name, parameter 1, type and parameter name, so and so. Function call. A function call is a statement that instructs the compiler to execute the function. We use the function name and parameter in this function call. So how the working of a function in C means, first of all, in the main, we want to call the function. When the function is called, it will be goes to the function definition, and in this definition, there will be a piece of code in that body. It will be executed and it will be returned. And there are some types of functions like with return type, without return type, with argument, without argument, like with argument, without return type, with return type, without argument, and so on. And functions are used to minimize the code space, so and reusability of the code also. Extern and macros. Extern is a keyword in C, applies to C variables and C function. Basically, the extend keyword is used as an visibility of a C variable and C function. Declaration of a variable of a function simply declares the variable or a function exists somewhere in the program, but the memory is not allocated for them. The declaration of the variable or a function serves as an important role. It tells the program what is the type going to be. In this case, the function declaration, it also tells the program the argument, the data types, and the other order of those arguments. Extern is a short name for external. Extern variable is used when a particular file needed to access a variable from another file. Macros. Macros in C is a piece of code in a program that is replaced by a value of the macro. Macro is defined by as defined directive. Whenever a macro name is encountered by the compiler, it replaces the name with the definition of the macro. Macro definition need not to be terminated by semicolon. So from that we finished our C programming. So and then we starting a embedded system. So first of all, what is an embedded system? An embedded system is a microprocessor based computer hardware system with software that is designed to perform a specific task or a function, either as an independent system or a part of a large system. And embedded system has a real-time aspect, like hard real-time, which should meet the deadline, like life critical applications, and firm real time. For hard real time, we can say missile, and for firm real time, it will be similar to the hard real time, and properties will be same. And soft real time can have a tolerance in meeting its deadline. So these are some of the examples of the embedded system like industrial robots, gaming consoles, microwave ovens, MP3 players, etc. Microcontroller. So what is a microcontroller? A microcontroller is a compact integrated circuit designed to govern a specific operation in an embedded system. A typical microcontroller includes a processor, memory, and input-output I/O peripherals on a single chip. You can see in the diagram what is a microcontroller. So in our project we're using a microcontroller called PIC microcontroller in PIC16F877A, which is an 8-bit microcontroller. The PIC microcontroller is one of the most renowned microcontroller in the industry. This microcontroller is very convenient to use, and the coding of the microcontroller is also easier. One of the main advantages is that it can write and erase as many times as possible because it uses a flash memory technology. It has also a total number of 40 pins, and there are 33 pins for input and output. And it has a smaller 35 instruction set. It can operate in 20 MHz frequency. The operating voltage is between 4.2 volts to 5.5 volts. If you provide its volt more than, it may get damaged permanently. The maximum current each put can sink or source is around 100 milliampere. Therefore, the current limit for each GPIO pin is 10 milliampere. It is available for 4 IC packages such as 40 pins PDIP, 44 pins PLCC pins. Okay. So this is the pin diagram of the PIC16F877A microcontroller. As it has been mentioned before, there are 40 pins of this microcontroller in IC. It consists of 2 8-bit and 1 16-bit timer, capture and compare modules, serial ports, parallel ports, and 5 input and output ports are also present in it. Timers. As the name suggests, these are used to measure the time or generate the accurate time delay. The microcontrollers can also generate or measure the required time delay by running loops, but the timer or counter relieves the CPU from the redundant and repetitive task, allowing it to allocate maximum processing time for the other task. Timer is nothing but a simple binary counter that can be configured to count clockwise, clock pulse, or internal or external. Once it reaches the max value, it will roll back to 0 setting an overflow flag and generate the interrupt if enabled. So you can see the time block diagram, how it goes. First of all, a clock pulse is going into a clock select, and then prescaler and time enabled and timer count and overflow and interrupt enabled. So let's move on to interrupt. Interrupts are special events that when take place on needed to be handled right away. Which means interrupts is called as a high priority task in small words. In case of CPU, which is deeply ordered, this was applied to allow the emergency external event to get the attention of a CPU. Emergency like power failure, the system overheating, or a major failure of a subsystem in the early days. But the concept of the interrupt was recognized as a very powerful, and as time went on, more and more subsystems gained the power to generate interrupts. These forced the interrupts complexity in interrupt structure or need to recognize, and that not all interrupts are equal. When an interrupt occurs, the program stops executing and the value of the program counter is put on a stack after which is moves to interrupt service vector, which is also known as ISV. At the time of interrupt trigger, the flag associated with the interrupt gets saved and the GI bit is clear. And there are two types of interrupt. They are software interrupt and hardware interrupt. Next. Okay, so next we move on to the simulation. As we see, uh, this is the development tool we used on MPLab XIDE. So in this we done a washing machine program. This is the programming code. So let's run it by clicking washing machine, clean and build. Build is successful. Okay, let's move on to the PIC16F where we want to simulate the project. So this is the PIC16F. I will go with starting. First of all, file. Now board, PICgenius, microcontroller, PIC16F877A. Here we go. And set the clock as 20 MHz because the board microcontroller supports 20 MHz. So let's upload our hex file, load hex, washing machine. Here it comes. So in this display we can see press key 5 to power on the washing machine. So this is the key 5, press it, powering on. Okay, we can see the washing programs. So we can take, first of all we can let's toggle it or scroll it. Heavy, delicates, whites, stain washes, eco cottons, woolens, bed sheets, rinse and dry, dry only, wash only, aqua store, and daily. Okay, so we can have many number of options in our washing program, and let's move. We can select daily. Okay, after selecting daily, we have a water level. So let's also scroll down. What are the options we have available in water level? Auto, low, medium, max, and auto. Okay, we have a couple of options in water level. So we take auto level. And press switch for start, switch Y for start, and switch for stop. Here it is the switch Y is. Let's get started. Okay, the function is get started. Here we can also pause by clicking switch 6, and also we can start again by clicking on switch 5. And this is the another option. When we open the washing machine door, it must be stopped. Okay, now we can hear the buzzer sound. Okay, this is the yes. After hearing the buzzer sound, we want to remove the clothes, and it also comes to the washing program display. So this is our my project that I done in washing program. So let's get conclude. In conclusion, This project aims to bridge the theory and practice the embedded system by simulating a washing machine program using PIC16F and PIC16F877A microcontroller. Through this simulation, we explore the interfaces of controlling logic, implementation, and demonstrate the versatility of the microcontroller-based system in a real-world application. So, thank you.